Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've now come to our ceremony. I'll call upon the organizing chairman for this tournament, Mr. Gibson Piri, to say a word. Give him a clap, please.
The General Secretary, National Sports Council of Zambia, the President, Zambia Tennis Association, Mr. Wanem Siska, the Vice President, Zambia Tennis Association South, Mr. Moyo Chiwesakunda, former President, Mr. Knox Mazima, former President, Dr. Henry Msenge, former President, South, Mr. Louis Kama, former President, South, Ken Gondwe, the Executive Committee, the Organizing Committee, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, I would like to welcome you to the SB 2020 National Tennis Championship, which involves the juniors under 18, 16, 14, 12, and we've added the under 10s, and we've also included our veterans, the Madalas doubles. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to be standing amongst the tennis family. As you are aware, the SB Sport Tennis Championship was embarked on in 2019 with the first tournament where we honored the longest serving coach in Zambia, Mr. Soli Patel. This year in 2020, despite the challenges of COVID pandemic, we saw to it that we still needed to have this tournament to take place. Ladies and gentlemen, before I go further, my protocol will not be complete if I do not recognize the presence of the President of the Zambia Musicians Association President, Mr. Tivosh Kapwasha. I would also like to recognize of our superstar singer, Salma Sky. Ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, it is indeed my rare privilege to be able to call upon the Vice President of the Zambia Tennis Association South, Mr. Moyo Chiwesakunda. Thank you.
I will ride on the protocols of the previous speaker, Gibson, and to welcome all of you to this second event in this 2020. Tennis is a very, very important sport, and my executive and I are very hopeful that this is the first step to many more events, and we felt it prudent that to bring the juniors on board could reignite the fire that tennis possessed so many years ago. I speak to the kids now. Like you, myself, the president, Tivo, we all used to play tennis here. And you know, coming here and seeing you guys and the fire in your eyes just brought back so many memories. And we would like to assure you that the executive team would do its level best to bring the best out of you guys and to garner the support of corporates so that they can continue to back tennis in Zambia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. I now call upon Dr. Henry Musenge. Give him a big hand, please.
Thank you so much. The General Secretary, National Sports Council of Zambia, the President, Zambia Tennis Association, the Vice President, South, the Chairman of the Organizing Committee, the Tournament Director, Presidents of Sports Federation, and all former presidents and officials of the Zambia Tennis Association, all the boys and girls here present, and may I simply say, all protocols observed. It is indeed my great pleasure to be standing among the tennis family after so many years. Tennis is a sport which is so much dear to me. But most importantly, I think we are here this afternoon for a very special event, as the association is honoring none other than the great man of our soil, Maxwell SICHULA. Mr. SICHULA needs no need for introduction. He is a man, as far as tennis is concerned, that all of us in the tennis fraternity are proud of. Mr. SICHULA was the first black president of the Zambia Tennis Association, serving from 1973 to 1982. He is the pioneer of many great tennis activities and developments, because I can assure you that tennis is in his blood. The Zambia Tennis Association has been doing its level best to keep the game alive, especially in the last 2 years, with tennis projects being established in various places in our country. For instance, in Imbala, we have more than 200 kids playing tennis now. In Mufrida, we have almost double that number, 400 kids playing tennis. In Kabwe, we have more than 100 kids playing tennis. And I am reliably informed that Chipata has also come on board, and that they are also represented by the kids who are here today. This indeed shows that the future of this sport is well nurtured and can only be brighter. I'm aware that there are challenges facing the association. For instance, the association has a running date of $15,000 with the International Tennis Federation, ITF. But I am confident that this issue can be resolved with concerted efforts by all of us members of the tennis family. It is important, Mr. President, that we engage the corporate world to make sure that they come on board to help us resolve this outstanding impasse. The second edition of the SB Sport Tennis Tournament is a great development, and it demonstrates that Zambians can take the lead in enhancing tennis development and bringing together, reliably informed that we have about 107 kids participating in the tournament from various parts of the country. Maxwell SICHULA is the beacon of Zambian tennis. Through him, many people had their lives transformed. He was the first one who introduced the U.S. tennis scholarships, which saw the first set of Zambian tennis players travel to the U.S., such as Fred Kangwa, and indeed the Simoniola brothers, Kela, Teza, Niza, and Brian, among many others. I therefore wish to take this opportunity to thank Mr. SICHULA for his commitment and innovations. Which led to the development of tennis in our country. No, some Zambians are still out there playing or teaching or coaching tennis to develop tennis skills. This indeed involves the Simoniola brothers and family, who are still actively involved in the sport of tennis even today. Mr. President, allow me once again to thank Mr. SICHULA because he has continued with his support by the sidelines. And through you, Mr. SICHULA, I would also like to thank all the other many Zambians and players who have continued to play a role in the development of lawn tennis in this country. Finally, but indeed not the least, I would also like to thank the Zambia Tennis Association for this innovation. Please keep it up. I want to thank you all for being here today. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Msenge. I'll now call upon the former President ZTA, Mr. Knox Mbazima. Give him a big hand, please.
Thank you. The General Secretary, Mr. Sports Council of Zambia, the President of Zambia Tennis Association, the Vice President, Mr. Gibson, by name, I want to thank you for so much you have done. I want to also acknowledge, with respect, Dr. Msenge, whom we took over from, I think about some 10 years ago. We worked with a number of people. I want to thank Ken Ogondwe, we worked together, and so many of you out there. Today is a very special day, and it's a day which is long, long overdue. Nobody can talk about sports in Zambia or tennis and not mention the name Max SICHULA. Okay? Mr. SICHULA has been there. I was on the Copper Belt for a long time. Mr. SICHULA would come, raise money. He's always been very supportive. To not make a correction, and he did honor, quite deservedly so, but we also honored Mr. Mutati some years back when I was president, in recognition for his contribution to tennis. Mr. SICHULA is a wealth of knowledge as far as running sport is concerned. He also ran the National Sports Council, and we always know about the positive things. As far as I'm concerned, even this honor is a bit too small for him. This is a man who deserves a national honor. I shall be obviously making some recommendations to ZTA, to make recommendations to government, so that we honor him properly for what he has done for tennis and sport in this country. There's just one thing about him: he doesn't grow old. The way he was years ago is the way he still is today. And I'm so happy to see him in such good health. On another note, I just want to acknowledge what he has done to a number of Zambian players who are now in the US plowing their trades. I want to acknowledge and thank with gratitude the boys who have come back to help home. So, let me just remind you, those who are here, do not underestimate the importance of the Zambia Tennis Association. Without it, you are going nowhere. When I was president, I would receive calls at midnight from some people who abandoned this country, seeking some letter from ZTA so that they can progress with their career. But these people have first forgotten their country. Please do not forget this country, wherever you go, whatever you do, be it in tennis or any sport, because all these kids here depend on what we do to our country and for our country. I was trained militarily, and one thing we taught was that in a battle, you can lose the battle, but don't lose the war, okay? And I would really urge everybody here to support the Zambia Tennis Association. Of course, there are always detractors here and there, they pull him down and stuff like that. I've traveled that road before. But at the end of the day, our country comes first. I want to thank some sponsors. I'm sorry, I'm not a man of few words, so bear with me. I want to thank sponsors who have come to ZTA. Some of us have been watching on the sideline. B Sports, So Clean, and there are many of you. I heard some ZTA people right now are actually keeping over 30 kids in their houses to support this tennis. Please, let's keep it up. Let's honor our great man, Mr. SICHULA. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much. Give him another hand, please. Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll now call upon the current Zambia National Tennis Association, Zambia Tennis Association of Zambia, President, Mr. Wane Mshiska. Please give him a big hand.
Thank you very much, Tournament Director and Master of Ceremony. Before I proceed to make my remarks, I would like the members of the organizing committee that have been working tirelessly to put this event together to please step forward so that we can recognize you. Please step forward. Please step forward. Thank you so much. Your tireless efforts are highly appreciated. My executive and I will be forever in your debt for your sacrifices, your time, resources. We thank you. A big hand for them, ladies and gentlemen. A big hand. National Sports Council of Zambia General Secretary, Mr. Raphael Mlenga, Zambia Tennis Association Vice President, South, Noracho Sapunda, and your executive, members of the Zambia Tennis Association executive present here today. I see our National Treasurer, our Junior Programs Coordinator. I recognize you. Past presidents of the Zambia Tennis Association present here today, and vice presidents, and other past executive members, I recognize you. Parents, boys and girls, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this very special day for Zambia Tennis Association. I think all the words have been told by those that were there. We are honoring a man who is very special to us, the tennis fraternity and the sports fraternity in Zambia. Today, a lot of people are calling him Mr. SICHULA, but when I first met Uncle Max, we thought they call him Uncle Max. As an 11-year-old boy, it was at this club playing tennis with a number of people I see in the stands today. We want you to come back to the tennis court. We shall have this discussion afterwards. We'll take it offline. But Uncle Max, we are very happy that you are here with us today. So a big hand for our special man of the moment, ladies and gentlemen. Big hand. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very big task ahead of us. And I wish to assure you that we are equal to the challenge, and we shall continue, we shall soldier on. Every endeavor will have the people that put wind under your wings and lift you up. But it's very important to also have critics that remind you that you don't have a monopoly on knowledge. Everybody is important. It's called teamwork. So we want you to continue in the same spirit, ladies and gentlemen. We do not want your praises for the things that we are doing right. We need your criticism for the things that we can do better. It will help us to grow. So please continue. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not want to hold up the reason we have gathered here this afternoon. The rest of the speeches will be made tomorrow at the prize giving. So before we move on with the main business of the day, I would also like to just mention some of the sponsors that have made this event possible, like So Clean Industries. We've got B Tennis, SP Sport. There are some parents here that I've had the privilege of interacting with. We value your sacrifice. Thank you very much for everything that you are doing. I used to okay. We've also got Coca-Cola that have also come to make this event possible, and a list of all the other sponsors. We shall thank you by name individually as we have our closing event tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you once again for looking after these children, for contributing to all the resources that we need to put together to buy refreshments and food for the children that have come to play today. There's no contribution that is too small. Materially, financially, we are on our knees. We thank you for opening your hands, for opening your hearts, and for opening your wallets. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen. At this moment, it is now my privilege to call upon the General Secretary for the National Sports Council of Zambia to make his remarks, and then after that we shall carry on with the last and most important part of our program. Mr. Mlenga, sir. Thank you. A big hand for the GS.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. The President of the Zambia Tennis Association and the members of the executive, the organizing committee, all past presidents and other members of the executive, of course, the veteran in our midst, Mr. Maxwell SICHULA, the parents, all the tennis players here, may I just say, all protocols observed. I stand here to read the speech for the Minister of Youth, Sport and Child Development, Mr. Emmanuel Mulenga, MP, who is unable to be with us because of other national duties. As you are aware, we are also celebrating the National Day, our 56th Independence anniversary. So our Honorable Minister is assigned duties somewhere. Before I read the speech, I want also to make mention that I am standing here with many hats. I am also the Chief Sport Development Officer in charge of programs in the country, aside from being the Acting General Secretary for the National Sports Council of Zambia. And I'm also the National Desk Officer in charge of anti-doping. I'm also representing Africa at the UNESCO. So I want to take advantage of this gathering of the young children, the blossoming talent in tennis, to make mention that to get to the higher heights, to the apex of the sport, you have got to do the best, you have got to work hard, you have got to pay attention to the coaches, to the instructors, to the guidance they are giving you. You don't need to be tempted to indulge in any substances which might ruin your sporting career and affect your health. Stay away from issues which can affect you, like substances, which are so many. I can talk about the common ones, like in Zambia. Talk about marijuana is widespread. Some sportsmen and women are tempted to take marijuana, maybe out of the influence of their friends or close relatives. Please stay away from those. It is also like here in Lusaka, where the children are tempted to take substances like beryllium. In other words, I'm saying, say no to doping. Taking enhancement substances of different kinds, which are enlisted also on the prohibited list as recommended by World Anti-Doping Agency, called doping. So stay away from doping. It's dangerous to your life, it's dangerous to your health. As children, you can easily be swayed by